the Cheltenham bumper winner is going to win the Paddy Power champion bumper as Patrick Mullins gives him a grateful pat. 3 out of 3. What a horse Cousin Vinny is. Wahib is battling back to the inside. Not the higher low. Not the higher low on the near side.
And it's an all-the-way win. Willie Mullins' monopoly on day 2 as Champagne Fever completes the double. And it's Carrickmore, Rock and James Cameron on the near side of Morning Run, who's rallying strongly. And Morning Run and Patrick Mullins have beaten Carrickmore, Rock.
Patrick, not long now to this year's Punchestown Festival. Just tell us how much you're looking forward to this meeting and what it means to you. I'd say you've got some great memories there, have you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very lucky place for me. Uncle Junior winning the Latouche is one of my favourite ever wins, and I love the Higher Law and Champagne Fever and Cousin Vinny have all won the bumper there. So it's the end of the season party for us. It's a nice blend between Cheltenham and kind of Aintree. It's serious, but it's not too tense.
And some extra interest for you this year, of course, because a horse you parred on with a few of your pals, Prince de BEAUCHENE, is going to run in the Hunter Chase there, and we've got this mouth-watering potential rematch with On the Fringe. Just tell us how much you relish in that.
Yeah, it was kind of hard sitting at home watching On the Fringe winning so easily in Cheltenham and Aintree, and we beat him in Leopardstown. But I'd imagine Enda probably left a bit to work on in Leopardstown, and we only beat him a length, and he's probably improved more than that since then. We didn't go to Fairyhouse. We just said he's an older horse. We didn't want to over-race him. We go straight to Punchestown. He's in good form, and it'll be very interesting. And
just how impressed were you by On the Fringe, first at Cheltenham and then at Aintree? He looked good, didn't he?
I mean, he was breathtaking. I haven't seen a horse do the double before in my memory, and his jumping was brilliant. But I thought Nina both days. I know the horse won very easy, but the 2 rides she gave were just inch perfect.
And your horse, he just seems to have been really sweetened up, doesn't he? I know he's been taking a drop in class from the grade 1s he was running in, but he does seem to be an awful lot sweeter now than he was. Can you put it down to anything? Yeah,
there's a French girl here called Alice who's been riding him all this season, and they seem to get on particularly well. And she's sweetening up a lot, and just confidence. Horses, they get used to running in those good races, and they're taking off their feet the whole time. And now he won a point with Katie O'Farrell at the start of the season, and he enjoyed himself, and his just confidence is back.
Well, it'd be great to see him. And obviously 5 days at Punchestown, Patrick, that means plenty of rides for you in the bumpers there. Just what horses in particular are you looking forward to in that sphere?
I'm looking forward to getting on board Eni again. He disappointed in Cheltenham. I thought I had a lovely position. I thought we were lovely and settled. And yet after a mile in Cheltenham, I was just gone. He was lame for a day after the race, but there was nothing obvious showed up. He's been fine since. We're just going to have to put it down to one of those things. I still think he has a lot of potential, and hopefully he can redeem himself. Bell still ran very well in Aintree. Hopefully Borini can redeem himself like him.
Was it one of those things where you're almost glad he ran that badly rather than finish 4th or 5th and that's as good as he is?
Exactly. It was just too bad to be true. So as of now, I'm going to just write it off, and to me, he's still the horse he was before Cheltenham.
Yeah, and I'm sure your dad will have plenty of others for the bumpers. And your Uncle Tom's got a lovely bumper horse that he won on in Limerick as well. Is it CHARBEL who won at Leopardstown previously? Yeah, CHARBEL. He won first time out in Leopardstown a winner's race, and then he won the listed race in Limerick very easily. My Aunt Sandra owns him, and he's got lots of speed. He's still a little immature. You saw in Limerick, in the middle of the race, he got a little bit lit up. But he's got lots and lots of speed, and yet he won on heavy ground in Limerick, so he stays well too. York Hill is another horse. He won in Goran. I'm not sure if he goes to the champion bumper or maybe the winner's bumper because he only won one. But he's a horse I'm very excited about. I like what he does at home. I suppose we don't know yet what the British Challenge is likely to be like in the bumpers, Patrick, but Moon Racer looked very good at Cheltenham. He did well to win from where he was, didn't he?
He really did. He put the race to bed in 10 strides, and I was behind him in Fairyhouse, his first ever run. And he caught my eye that day, as long with everyone else. But if he comes over, he will be very hard to beat.
Uncle Junior with 12-7 is running on over the final flight, and it's Lightenhouse. They're coming at him now. Sadler Storm, tally him up, and Uncle Junior on the near side. 100 yards ahead of them. Lightenhouse with Uncle Junior on the near side, cutting him back. And Uncle Junior, a star performance under 12-7 is just that Lightenhouse.
Patrick, you mentioned there great memories winning the cross country and Uncle Junior. You're going to be involved in that discipline this time, I hope, as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, Junior ran a cracker in Cheltenham. He was third at 14. 3 of his last 4 runs have been third in the Latouche last year, second at Balazar King in November, and third at the festival in Cheltenham. So he'll go back again. He probably wants real soft ground to make it enough of a stamina test for him, but he'll go there. And Degora ran very well in Cheltenham. He was fourth. He disappointed in the Irish National, but we could go for the Irish field chase with him.
And your dad, in terms of overall quality, is probably the strongest team he's ever had going to the festival, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, just, on the back of Cheltenham, which was an extraordinary week, everything went right, everything clicked, and Punchestown has been very lucky for us, and Dad has a good knack of getting the horses back and getting them fresh and well for Punchestown. And you're kind of always wondering, it went so well in Cheltenham, when's it going to start going wrong? But hopefully it'll stay going right.
And there's so many great horses there to look forward to, Patrick. Faheen was brilliant at Cheltenham. I know you were a big Hurricane Fly fan all the way through and still are. It'd be great to see them go toe-to-toe again, will it? Yeah.
I mean, Faheen's a new kid on the block. He's the young horse on the up. And I thought Ruby gave him a fantastic ride in Cheltenham. It's extraordinary the way he can make the mistakes he does and just not lose any ground against those top class horses. The Fly tried his heart out. He at least he wasn't like Cheltenham last year where he kind of gave up the hill. He was back to his normal self, trying his heart out. And if anything should happen to Faheen, he's who's to say he can't turn around anyway.
That's it. And are you excited by the possibility of the French champion hurdle for him further along the line, Hurricane Fly?
Yeah. I mean, he's settling so well now. He stays well, and he is entered in the 3 mile Grade 1 in Punchestown as well. So that's a new avenue which opens up exciting new options. And
Underso, unfortunately, the ground turned out a bit quick for him at Aintree, Patrick, but he'll go to Punchestown all being well too, will he?
Yeah, I imagine so. He was going to send him. He was nearly on the lorry, and he decided no. The weather was just such a fantastic week of weather. He just said the ground was going to be drying out too much. He's in brilliant form since Cheltenham, and again he'll be a white knuckle rider around Punchestown.
I'm sure that'll be exciting. And we didn't get to see Annie Power either, unfortunately. But has she been coming back gradually since the fall at Cheltenham? Yeah, she was very stiff and sore a couple of days after, as you'd expect, and just coming off her initial preparation, and then the fall, maybe going to Aintree wasn't maybe the right decision with her. So Dad decided not to send her there, and she go to Punchestown. Whether she goes to the mares or the stayers, I don't know, but we just said coming off the fall, we'll give her a bit of extra time to get her right. And you've got a new star in the novice hurdlers this season as well, Duvan. Just how impressed were you by him at Cheltenham, and how good do you think he can be ultimately? Yeah, I mean, he was very, very good in Cheltenham. He's his own shape of a horse. He's very tall, very leggy, a little bit like Vautour. And the work he does at home is exceptional. And it was great for him to go out and do it, because sometimes horses do that work at home, they don't do it on the track, and he did. So we're just hoping he can reproduce it in Punchestown. And it must have been nice, obviously, not just because you train the horse as well, but Shane's Hill to come out, boost the form the way he did at Ferryhouse, win easily there. Yeah, he was very impressive. So Shane's Hill is a top-class horse. He was second at the last 2 Cheltenham festivals, and it was great to see him get his day in the sun over hurdles, because the season hadn't quite gone to plan for him. And he could make it into a nice novice chaser next year possibly. And of all the arts winners at Cheltenham, Patrick, Vautour was the one I think that really captured the imagination. How excited are you about seeing him in action once more? Yeah, I mean, he was jaw-dropping. He just was winging fences for fun. He made it look so easy, and he's such a tall horse with so much scope. And I don't know where he'll go. There's only the 2 novices there in Punchestown, and he could go 2 or 3. He has that much range of ability. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Dom Polly. He was a different type of performance than Vautour, in that it wasn't just blow them out of the water. But I've never seen a horse toy with a field. He was going nowhere down the back straight. Then he wings one, jumps to the front, goes to win his race to home bend, pulls up. They get to him at the last, and away he goes again and wins with his ears pricked. We don't know what's under the bonnet with him. And I saw him on the gallop this morning, and he got a bit of a run with Linda, who rides him, which he's never done before. So he's come out of Cheltenham in better form than he went into it.
And it's Vroom Vroom Mag clear at the final fence, and is safely over. And on the run up to the finish, Vroom Vroom Mag is clear. It's been a most familiar sight this week. Ruby Walsh, Willie Mullins and the Ritchie colours, as Vroom Vroom Mag retains her unbeaten record over fences.
Looking forward as well to Vroom Vroom Mag. I mean, she's done everything right so far this season. I'm not sure where she's going to run yet, but again, sky's the limit with her, isn't it? Yeah, well, I mean, she's only running against mares, so you have to take that into account. So she'll have to step up again to take on the boys. But what she's done looks very, very good. My mother rides her out every morning, Jackie, so they get on very well. And
I don't know whether she'll go to Punchestown. She doesn't really need to. She's done so much this season already. But she's come out of her win in Fairyhouse very well, and next year with her, we'll find out a lot more about her.
And you went so close to getting the first Gold Cup win for the stable with Jack Adam. Presumably very proud of his performance. We'll see him at Punchestown all going well.
Yeah, you know, he was quite tired after the race, but Rachel, who rides him, says he's come back to form now, and there's quite a long gap between Cheltenham and Punchestown this year, which is a big help. He ran his heart out. I mean, the winner looked exceptional. You know, it was a fantastic story for the Bradstocks and Nico de Bonneville and the Oakseys. But you know, we'll be back next year. He was only 6, and maybe another year he might be able to go one better. Yeah,
and it should be a cracking race at Punchestown, shouldn't it? I don't think we're going to have Coney Gree, but we should have Carnival Lock Road to Riches probably as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great bunch of chasers there that are all within a few pounds of one each other, and they've given us some great races in the Hennessy and the Lexus, and I'd be hoping maybe our lad has more scope for improvement than the rest of them, and hopefully he can continue on that upward curve.
And just to go back to Cheltenham, Patrick, of course you were involved in the race yourself. You were up there matching strides with Coney Gree and on his own. Just tell us, how much of a thrill was that for you?
I mean, it was a privilege to ride in the race. It really was, you know, and I'm very thankful to Graham and Andrew Wiley for letting me get the spin on him. He ran a cracker. He was bang there jumping the third last. He was the first horse of kind of last year's horses home, and he gave me a fantastic spin. It's memories that I'll always cherish. And
just how different a race was that to anything else you've been involved in before? A top class 3 1/4 mile chase with no questions or no holds barred from the word go.
I was amazed that we kept going. I thought the pace we were going, like that's how On His Own has to be ridden, but I just thought, I said we can't keep, you know, the horse in front can't keep going anyway. I was thinking maybe this will set it up for Jack Adam a bit, and yet he did, and that's just the difference. You know, the horses at that level, they have such a high cruising speed.
And On His Own, fair play to him, he's come out since then and won a nice pot at Cork. Is there a chance we might see him again this season? Yeah,
I mean, he could go to Punchestown, and as David Casey said, he possibly the Grand Course, the Auteuil, the Grand Prix de Paris in Grand Steep in Paris in Auteuil could be an option with him 3 mile 5. He is better going right-handed, as you saw when he jumps out to his right a bit, but you know, he's a fantastic horse. He's won lots of good races.
And Patrick, just to reflect on Aintree, Nichols Canyon was a brilliant winner over there. It was great to see him bounce back from his defeat at Cheltenham, but the real low is Arctic Fire. But then again, I suppose just seeing him get up, that was a result in itself, wasn't it?
It was, and you know, it was the same with Annie in Cheltenham. You know, as Rich said, the biggest thing in Cheltenham was Annie got up, and you could kind of say that flippantly, but if she hadn't got up, it would have made the whole week very, very different. And Arctic Fire got up, and he seems fine after it. Doesn't seem to have taken anything out of him. But you know, there'd been more races for him. I thought Nicholas Canyon was superb. I mean, he's just a horse that's gone under the radar a little bit. You know, he won the Royal Bond, and then he unseated Ruby, and then he won the Loish in Leopardstown, and then we probably maybe didn't ride him forcefully enough in Cheltenham, and when he was beaten, and then he's gone and won again in Aintree. So 3 Grade 1s and 2, or possibly with a bit of change of luck, he could have won as well. I don't know, next year, I mean, he stayed very well in the flat. He could go to World Hurdle route. You know, I know Graham Wiley had English Reaver, and he'd like something similar. But he's a horse that's gone under the radar, and we don't know how good he is yet.
Yeah, and poor old Ballycasey, he had nowhere to go with the canal term. We've seen him here today. He looks okay. Is he still a little bit sorry for himself, though? No, he's fine, actually. He looked like he'd really taken to it. He was jumping well, and it seemed to be turning him back to his old self. But he's fine, and Ruby had a couple of marks and grazes from the kind of sudden stop, but you know, maybe we can go back there next year with him. And Patrick, it looks as though another amateur championship beckons for you. Are you pleased with the way the season's gone overall? You've ridden lots of nice horses, obviously, all the way through. Yeah, it was a fantastic season. You know, I'm on 50. I got my 50th winner yesterday in Tramore, and it's really, you know, to get another amateur title is fantastic. It's not really a fair fight on Nina and Katie, you know. I'm riding Dad's horses, but I'm very lucky to be able to ride them. The highlight was probably riding in the World Cup, to be honest, and it's not over yet. Punchestown's still to come.